This might be the easiest build in the Division 2 right now. You literally don't have to aim, you don't have to try, you just place your skills and everything dies. It's absolutely insane and it's probably the easiest build to use as a beginner right now in the game. The whole idea behind this build is simple. Stack skill damage, drop your turret in a drone, and let them do everything for you. So if you're returning to the game, or you're new to the game, and you're looking to accomplish endgame, play with randoms and do legendaries, especially ones like Tidal Basin, this is the perfect build for you. It doesn't require skill, but you have to use your skills. No pun intended. But trust me, guys, this is a great video, so like, comment, and subscribe. I'm very excited to showcase this build. And real quick, right before we jump into the specifics, I am giving away 3 copies of the Ultimate Edition of the Division 2. All you have to do is be subscribed, like, and comment what you're looking forward to most in this game. And you could win, whether you want to keep it for yourself or gift it to your friends. That's all up to you. Without further ado, let's get into the build video. So as stated, this is a skill build and the gameplay style is very easy, making it beginner friendly. But how are we able to accomplish this? Well, it starts off with the technician specialist, and the reason why is because the technician specialist gives us amped, a passive talent, allowing us to have +1 skill tier. And then also benefiting our drones and turrets is the dismantling tier 4 talent, which gives us +12% damage to drone skills, proxies, and robotics, helping in endgame content like invaded strongholds such as Tidal Basin, where you have a bunch of warhounds and black tusk, etc, etc. You get the point. Another thing is emergency patch, where armor kit also applies to all friendly skill proxies within 10 meters. So every time you pop an armor kit, your skills will also have that extra added health to them. Keep in mind, I'm only shade level 200 on a brand new account, and that's a perfect demonstration of this build that isn't fully optimized, however is still fully capable of taking on every piece of content within the game. Anyways, moving on to our loadout. The only main gun that you need to emphasize is the capacitor. The best way to obtain it is through the summit. This exotic SMG has the talent called capacitance. Shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 per second. For each skill tier, gain 7.5% weapon damage, and this is beautifully shown in the shooting range. If you want to see numbers for my numbers people, you are actually putting up crazy DPS. Heroic modifier, you seen in the previous clip, we just wiped out an elite enemy like it's nothing. And when you have the striker drone and the turret going with this weapon equipped, you are doing good DPS for not doing anything. So what about the gear pieces? For the gear pieces, we are running 3-piece Empress International. The first bonus gives us plus 10% skill health, the second gives us plus 10% skill damage, and the third gives us plus 8% skill efficiency. All 3 of these things tie into the full gameplay cycle of allowing your skills to last as long as possible, do as much damage as possible, and be as efficient as possible. So make sure to have 3 pieces of Empress International. Then we are using 2 pieces of Hana U. 2 pieces of Hana U gives us plus 10% skill haste for rocking 1 piece and plus 10% skill damage for rocking 2 pieces. Once again, this enforces our gameplay loop of letting our skills do all the work for as long as possible, have as much damage as possible, and have as much health as possible. Every attribute that you want to spec into these pieces is skill haste and skill damage. But hold up, what exotic gear piece are we using to fully, put everything together in a clear package? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are using the Waveform Exotic Holster. The Waveform Exotic Holster has a great talent to match the synergy called Alternating Current. Generate a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. After 10 seconds, at the cap, the stacks transfer to your other skill. The process then repeats ad infinitum. And here's where it gets better. because once you optimize this build, it actually becomes one of the strongest solo setups in the game. If you're new or returning to Division 2, this is probably the easiest way to get through content right now. You can see me soloing Heroic at ease. Now obviously, it's not the highest damage build in the game, but for how easy it is to use, it's honestly insane. Now, what about the chess piece talent? So, for our Empress International chess piece that we are using, we are using the talent Tamper Proof. Enemies that walk within 3 meters of your hive, turret, or remote pulse are shocked. Arm time 2 seconds, cooldown per skill 10 seconds. This allows your assault drone to be an absolute unit. You see, when you drop it in front of an enemy, they start to back off right away because they understand if they get too close, they're gonna get shocked. And once they get shocked, oh boy, it's over. Now for our backpack, we are using a specific backpack, which is the named Hana U Force Multiplier high-end backpack. The talent for this is Perfect Combined Arms. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. So aside from the exotic weapon capacitor, aside from the exotic holster waveform, we have another way of increasing our skill damage. You're looking at 3 to 4 ways of easily increasing your skill damage, and that too is if you want to be less than lazy and actually shoot around a bit. But once again, like I said, you don't even have to shoot around, and that's the best part. So a build summary, we are on the specialist of technician for that skill tier mainly. We have capacitor as the exotic submachine gun with the talent of capacitance. Now this paired with our specialist is amazing because we have overcharged to our skills already, and that just increases skill damage. We're running 3-piece Empress International for the full brand set bonuses because it supports our gameplay loop. It is in your order and understanding to how you want to have those 3 pieces run. It doesn't have to be the mask, the chest piece, and the gloves, but just make sure the chest piece has the talent of tamper proof because that's all that really matters. Now the one thing that is fully slotted in and cannot be changed is Force Multiplier because it's a named backpack, and we need that backpack for that extra skill damage. That extra 30% skill damage goes a long way, and with that, of course, the holster is also fixed in slot because it's the exotic waveform holster, which helps us also stack more damage. So aside from that, just run 2 pieces of Hana U, which could either be the gloves or the mask as well, like I said. And for the backup weapon, if you want, I run the Harmony because it gives us perfectly in sync, which just gives us more skill damage for simply shooting your weapon. And if it has not been made clear yet, aside from the backup weapon, if we talk about our skills, yep, we're using the assault turret, which is a tier 6, and we're also using our striker drone, which is also a tier 6. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Whether you're a beginner or a veteran, this build is highly recommended for all forms of content. If you enjoyed this build guide and you would like to see more videos like this, then like, comment, subscribe, and I appreciate all the support genuinely. More videos to come, and the best way to show it is by starting fresh. So hope you got the picture and enjoy the skill build.